pulpit, our master of order, and our waiting congregation. My task today is to share with you why we are celebrating today. It was an idea that many of us had and hoped would happen one day. But it was a vision and real dream of our former pastor, the Reverend Dr. W.C. Davis, Jr., that the Greater Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church, and that is the name on the cornerstone, would have a fellowship hall. On two different occasions, during his tenure, the vision was presented. One of the times, we even made it to having blueprints made. However, both times, doubt and fear took over, and the plan died. Due to his failing health, Dr. Davis officially retired in May 2012. The church formed a pulpit committee, and the church began praying for a pastor. In December of 2012, our prayers were answered, and the then Reverend A.G. McSwain Jr. became our pastor. After observing what worked, what didn't, and what needed tweaking, Pastor McSwain presented his wishes and desires for the congregation, and the fellowship hall was one of them. The congregation realized there was a need, but the idea did not get a pulse. Then in 2014, full CPR was administered, and the idea had a very strong pulse. The church authorized the trustee ministry to get the ball rolling. Mr. Laurel and Mr. Tommy Posey worked many hours on finding out the steps we would need to do in order for the fellowship hall to come to fruition. They learned that we would need at least a $30,000 in order to have a down payment to secure a loan. The church then appointed them, and we formed a committee, and we got busy to raise the down payment. And the congregation was asked to give sacrificially along with their tithes and offering, and we were asked to pledge monthly to help us raise this down payment. We began pledging in April of 2015, and by March 2016, we had met our $30,000 goal. Amen. We still knew that there was work to be done, so the church authorized and voted that we would continue to pay our monthly pledges, and the fellowship hall committee was officially formed. This committee was the eyes and ears of what the church wanted and needed in the fellowship hall. While Mr. Ashford and Mr. Posey worked on obtaining blueprints, a builder, and a loan, another idea to help raise funds was presented by Dr. Rosalind Ashford. This idea was the purchasing of ceramic tiles that would have a place of honor in our new building. These tiles could be purchased in honor of, in memory of, or you could purchase one to just show that what part you played in making this vision a reality. And you saw the fruition of our work when you drove up the beautiful fellowship hall. Time continued to move. We are excited, and we are continuing to pray that God will bless our efforts. We have our down payment and then some. We have our builder, Davis Construction, and we have the blueprints. But the church's longtime bank of over 30 years would not loan us the total amount of money needed to build the building. We were disappointed, to say the least. However, during a business meeting, it was stated that there are other banks in Laurel, and surely one of them would be willing to loan us the entire amount. Community Bank was our ram in the bush. They would finance our entire loan. So on a cool and damp Sunday afternoon, March 12, 2017, the congregation, pastor, and Mr. Davis of Davis Construction broke ground for our building with an anticipated completion date of 6 months. On Monday, March 13th, they got to work.
Amen.
We came down here for something that Monday evening, and you could tell where they had begun breaking up the ground, getting it ready. Even after the concrete was poured, the wooden frame took shape, there were still some that said we still couldn't do this, that it was too much. And then we had rumors that circulated that because we were offering others the opportunity to buy cows, they said we were begging. But what they didn't know was that the God we serve is one that we took as His word. He said, "Verily I say unto you, if ye have faith and doubt not, ye shall not only do this which is done to the fig tree, but also ye shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be cast into the sea. It shall be done. And all things whatsoever ye shall ask in prayer, believing, ye shall receive." We ask in prayer, we believe, and we have received. You saw it when you drove up. You can even see it from 59. Thank you, Lord. And that is why we are here today. Thank you, Lord. We were given the keys in August, a month ahead of schedule. Once we had the keys, we needed table and chairs. Church bought the chairs, but then the members stepped up and made additional sacrifice, and they even purchased chairs for us to have in the fellowship hall. One person got it quietly started, and then it just took off, and we have now purchased over 120 chairs to be used in our fellowship hall. We held a mini dedication and prayer of thanksgiving earlier, but today we wanted to pause and officially dedicate the fellowship hall to God and present it to the congregation, our family, and our friends. Sadly, the first time we used the fellowship hall, we used it for the repast for the family of longtime member Mrs. Carrie Shelby. Although this was a sad occasion, we were extremely proud and happy that we could accommodate her family in a facility where we had room to spare.
Amen.
We are thankful that God has answered our prayer, and as we finish this program, we are going to officially dedicate. But I leave you with this. To God be the glory for the great thing He has done.